Bear with me for a second, people, please. Bear with me for a second, people, please. Okay, I'm on a little bit of a delay here. Hold on one second. Getting this technical stuff going. Okay, can everybody see me? Hey Jesse, how are you? All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bob Ferguson. I am always on social media, posting a lot of wildlife. That is my #1 passion. Some of you may know me as the Wealth Trinity. That's my personal development brand. Every Wednesday night, I try to get on around between 8:30 and 9. I've been doing 8:30 the last few weeks, and have kind of like a webinar session, a live session where I talk about some sort of personal development or self-help in the hopes that you can relate, or maybe I can inspire you, and because it's a big help to me. So this week, we're going to talk about the 7 areas for a remarkable life or an extraordinary life, okay? There's gonna be 7 areas of your life that I want you to pay attention to, and you're gonna see my portion of the Wealth Trinity buried in there. And when we get to that, I'll share that with you. But before we get started, I do want to mention one thing real quick. Let's see who else is here. Hey Tina. Hey Carla, what's up? Okay, great. All right. Before we get started, I do want to mention a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about today are things that I've touched on in the past few weeks, and I want you to listen, and if something is sounding similar, if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, I probably am. What I'm trying to do is rehash these topics, kind of deliver them to you in a different package. Maybe, then something will click and you can make the changes in your life you need to. You've probably heard the saying that repetition is the mother of all skill. That's really what this is about. I'm not gonna have one week, I'm not gonna have like some magic tidbit that I haven't shared before that's all of a sudden gonna make your life amazing. If I did, my life would be as amazing as possible right now. My life is amazing, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy, but I would have my $1 million. I would have the perfect body composition for what I'm looking for. So I want you to keep that in mind. Repetition is the mother of all skill. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more towards the end, but that's really what we're getting at here. I'm going to keep repeating things until not only you get them, but I get them, because I'm doing this for me as much as I'm doing it for anybody that is getting some value from these. I'm trying to ingrain this into me so that I can be the best person I can be. All right? So I just wanted to touch upon that. If I'm repeating myself, please don't go. We all need to keep hearing this until it becomes part of our lifestyle. All right? So the 7 areas for a remarkable life, this is something I took from my mentor, Stephen Palernos. I believe he took it from Tony Robbins. When he presented it to me, it was his own spin on things. I'm going to present it to you with my own spin on things. And when you see these, I'm going to create a hierarchy here. These aren't set in stone. This is the way I've done it. Feel free to rearrange it however your personality or your personal life seems fit, okay? Let me check the... Sorry, Matt. White shirt next week. Thanks, Van Wert. Okay. I'm going to get started. I'm getting distracted by these comments, people picking on me. All right, bottom of your hierarchy. I've said it a million times. Well, this is Facebook Live session number 8, so I probably said it 8 times. Your physical body, your fitness, and your health, okay? All right. I make this the most important part of your life because without health, what do you really have? You know, you could have millions in the bank, and if you are feeling like crap, if you've come down with disease or illness, how are you going to, enjoy it? You could have, a relationship where you love your partner with all your heart, but if you don't have the energy to be passionate in that relationship, where is that going to get you, right? When are you most irritable? Is it when you've got plenty of energy and you're like full of life, or is it when you're tired, right? I know when I'm tired, I'm irritable. And who are we the meanest to? It's always the people who are closest to us, okay? So that's why this is down at the bottom. We need to be healthy to have a quality of life and have vitality late into our years, okay? And not only going late and living long, vital lives, but it's also about feeling that vitality every single day and attacking the world and creating the life that you want. That's down here, number 1, okay? Number 2, and I'm gonna need to explain this one. All right, emotions. You could argue that this should be down below, all right? What I'm going to say is, let me ask you this. What controls and determines the quality of your life? I believe that the quality of your life is the quality of your emotions, okay? You could have, like I said, we'll go back to this $1 million. You could have $1 million in the bank, right? But if you're not happy with yourself, then what good is that money going to do, right? I've always said that happiness is not a destination. It's not about getting rich. It's not about getting in the best shape. It's not about finding the perfect man or woman. It's a choice that you make every single day to have gratitude and not take for granted the things in your life that are good. And you can choose to be happy every day. Okay, so you need to have your emotions in check to really enjoy that quality of life. You need to feel happy every day. And this is something you have to work at. There's plenty of miserable people. I know people who are technically millionaires, and you look at them and you think, oh, you should be happy. You have all this money, you have financial freedom, you can do whatever you want, but they're miserable. And that's because they have not chosen to be happy. They don't have the gratitude that you need every single day. You know, I've seen people who are shredded to the bone in the best shape you could possibly imagine, but at what expense? At the expense of their family. Maybe they're always at the gym. Maybe it's just taken over their lives, and they're in the best possible shape. And that is definitely an area of our remarkable life, but there's no balance. You need to be happy with yourself first. All right, let me see if Tony Robbins says success without fulfillment is failure, right? So you could be successful financially, but if you're not fulfilled, what have you really achieved other than a swollen bank account? Let me check my... Okay, Matt says emotions should be down below. And that, like I said, that's debatable. It could be. You could make this hierarchy fit however you want. Any of these could be flip-flopped, and I totally agree. That could be number 1. All right, relationships. I believe, and I'd say most of the world believes, that as human beings, we are meant to be in a relationship, share an intimate relationship with somebody else. And I think that all the money and achievement in the world means nothing without somebody to share it with. Okay? So whether you have a significant other or not now, that's okay. You know, I'm not saying you need to listen to me and go rush out and find a girlfriend or boyfriend right now if you're single. I'm just saying when the time comes, or if you have one now, you need to nurture that relationship and you need to hold them high, okay? And like I said, all this can be interchanged. I put emotions below relationships because I strongly believe that if you don't love yourself first, you're not going to be able to give the correct love to someone else. Okay, that's why I got emotions down there. And as I already touched on, if you don't have the energy to be nice to that person, then your relationship's going to suffer. It's just going to go downhill, and you're either going to fall into a comfort zone and live life numb with a roommate, or you're going to break up and have failed relationship after failed relationship. And this doesn't just mean, you know, significant other. This is your friends, your family, anybody you cherish, anybody you hold dear to you and appreciate. These all have to be nurtured. You know, you have to not take these people for granted. That's number 3. Number 4. Check the comment. I'm going to have to read some of these comments later. Time and productivity. I've talked about this plenty, probably because it's one of my weakest points, and I'm trying to sell to you guys as much as I can so that I really get on the ball with it. What is the great equalizer? Whether you're Bill Gates, whether you're me, whether you are a 19-year-old high school graduate living in your parents' basement, what's the great equalizer? It's time. We all have 24 hours in a day to get shit done. All right? It's how you use that time that's going to determine the quality of your life. That's going to determine your future and your present. Are you proactive with that time, going after your values, going after your mission, you know, creating that healthy, fit life, making sure your emotions are in check, being good to your spouse or significant other and friends and family? Are you proactive with that, or are you sitting around watching TV, wasting time, or playing video games, or like me, scrolling mindlessly through social media, liking snake picture after frog picture after bird picture? You know, yes, that's important, but is it proactively putting me closer to my dreams and my mission? All right, you need to ask yourself that. I'm being very general with these because I have spoken a little bit deeper about them in the past, and I'm trying to actually make this one quick this week. We'll see. You know, Jesse, I think watching Facebook Live is a very productive use of your time when you put what I'm talking about into action. You know, you can listen to me babble on for 40 minutes and not do anything with it. Yes, you're wasting your time. We need to put this stuff into action. I know you're joking, but just putting that out there. Okay. Number 5 is your career or business. That's because it's bringing in income for you. All right. Part of the wealth trinity is financial freedom. To get there, you're going to need some source of income. All right. That's where your career or business comes in. One thing I want to touch on, I read a stat, and you know, who knows what the real numbers are, but 70 to 80% of people are actually, it said hate their job. I don't know what hate actually means. It's a large word. And I used to tell my kids hate's too strong, and you know, you could say you dislike. But they hate their jobs, right? If you are unhappy in your job, here's my suggestion. Go back to your emotions, all right? Your emotions need to be in check. If you are stuck in a job and that is your source of income, You need to stop saying, I'm stuck in that job. You need to stop saying, I hate that job. You need to maybe change your vocabulary around and say, you know, it is my mission to whatever you're doing. I know some of us have our own business, like Jesse has a great business going, reptile rescue, and he's into great outreach programs and stuff, and that's great, and I'm sure he loves it and he's passionate about it. We're not all in jobs that we're passionate about. So you need to change your vocabulary and change your feelings so that you can be happy in your job, because you're going to spend a third of your life working, all right? And I'm going to get to the next part of this. Which is financial freedom, okay? While you're in this job, if you don't like it, you can have a side hustle going. You can start building something outside of it. You need to find something you're passionate about and build it. And it's not about, let's go back to career and business, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and then invest. And I'm not talking about stocks or bonds, that could be what you're investing in, but it could be investing in yourself, product courses, seminars, educating yourself, and then putting it into action. You need to learn how to control your finances, manage them, get them under control, and have that saved chunk of money and put it towards your future. Put it towards your financial freedom. I'm not saying we all need to quit our jobs. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you don't like your job, you should be going for financial freedom. If you do like your job, you should be going for financial freedom. What is financial freedom? Financial freedom is when you get to a point in your life where you have income coming in, passive income, that you could never work another day in your life if you didn't want to, and you could keep your level, your quality of life at its current state. I think we all need to go after financial freedom. That's whether you like your job or you don't like your job. Listen, if you are a lawyer and you love being a lawyer or a doctor, or you love being whatever, a janitor, you know, and my mom's a custodian in the school district, so don't think I'm putting janitors down. And she loves her job. If you love your job, that's fine, but you still need to go after that financial freedom. It is a security blanket. It gives you the freedom. The freedom. Freedom is the most important word here, to do what you want with your life. If that day comes, listen, 5 years ago, I made fun of birders. I said I would never be into birding. 5 years later, I fly to Latin America and I'm as excited about the birds as I am about everything else. You don't know where your life's going to go. So you can be happy with your job right now, but you might discover some passion or hobby 2 years from now that might take you away from your job. Maybe you want to travel and see every country in Europe, you know? You want that financial freedom, so you always need to be building towards that. And that is part of my wealth trinity. So I told you earlier, I talked about the wealth trinity, and really what I'm just doing is expanding that. Those are my two foundations of the wealth trinity, okay? All this other stuff is definitely important, but I try and concentrate on these two, and then the third thing I'm going to talk about in a second. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Tyler says, spoiler alert, the top part of the pyramid is herping. And he's right. The top part is your spirituality or your mission. I put them together. Your mission in life. If you don't know your mission in life, that's okay, but you need to figure it out, because what are you going for? What are you doing all this for? What are you trying to be a better person every single day for? You know, you need to focus in on what is most important to you. And you know, your mission can change. Mine's changed, but in the meantime, every single day, if I'm focused on my mission, I'm making the world a better place by moving toward that mission. All right? So I put that at the top of the list because, listen, if we all went after what was most important to us and achieved it, the world would be an amazing place. So my mission isn't herping. Maybe it is. My mission is conservation. My mission is helping people out, helping the earth out. I feel like if I can help people out, the earth will be, it's like a trickle down thing. You know, the earth will be a better place. So I don't want to put all my eggs in the conservation basket. You know, if I had $1 million, I wouldn't put $1 million into buying new land. You know, I might split it up into buying new land and then maybe into more human endeavors to make people better versions of themselves, because I'm not going to change the world by myself, but I can, you know, get my claws into people and expand and hopefully inspire and motivate more and more people, and then they can inspire more and more people, and it's just down the pyramid, and together we can change the world. That's my mission. So you need to figure out your mission. I put spirituality up there because whether you're religious, whether you believe in God, whether you are a Wiccan, I don't care. You know, whatever your spirituality is, that's fine. When I talk about it, you know, I'm not Catholic or Christian or Jewish or anything. I talk about it as my place in the universe and how we're all connected, and, you know, really just being a positive source of energy and putting that out to help the earth and the universe be a better place. So that's really where my spirituality is. Make that whatever you want yours to be. So those are the 7. These are the wealth trinity: health and fitness, financial freedom, and your mission. I want you to look at all these, okay? And I'm going to give you an exercise to do. So hopefully you weren't just listening. I want you to put this into action. All right, I want you to look at every area of your life, and I want you to grade yourself from 1 to 10 on where you think you stand right now, okay? Compared to where you want to be. And I want you to really think about this. You know, I'm going to bust through it as an example just because I've done this over and over again, and this is part of my normal routine. And this is something I think maybe you might want to try once a week or once a month. Just keep yourself in check. Keep tabs on yourself. Keep like a score sheet, because without your score sheet, you don't know where you stand, and you're going to continue to float through life, and life's going to happen to you instead of letting life or making life happen for you. So my health and fitness, all right? And this is personal, so don't leave yet. I have other things I want to talk about. I'm going to say that's about 8 right now. Why? I'm not in the shape I want to be. I'm not as toned as I want to be, but I'm well on my way. I need to clean up some eating, stuff like that. I've been well on my way, so that's why I'm giving myself an 8. I'm not a 10. My emotions, I'm going to say a 7. All right, I've really worked at my emotions, and, you know, when I get upset about something, really clear in my head really quick. Actually, Julie just shared something that she learned about how she gives herself 5 minutes to be upset about something, and then that's it. It's done. She sets a timer, 5 minutes, it's done. You can do whatever you want. You got to get your emotions in check, and that's going to take a lot of practice every single day, because something's going to pop up that's going to annoy you or irritate you or just make you downright pissed off. And, you know, you got to remember that you are in control. You might not be in control of the circumstance, but you are in control of yourself and your reaction to it. Relationships. I'm going to give myself a 7 there too. I'm not going to get too personal here, but my relationship with Julie is wonderful. Really, I just want more time with her, and that'll come as I get all this taken care of. I'd like a better relationship with my parents. I'd like to get my kids deeper into conversation, that type of stuff. So that's why I'm not a 10 there. Time and productivity, I'm going to give myself a 5. I feel that it's probably the weakest point of a lot of our lives. You know, I'm worlds above what I was just a few months ago as far as time productivity. but I still waste a ton of time. And, you know, it's not to say that I need to be productive every second of the day, but if I'm being honest with myself, there's a lot of time that I waste that I could be putting towards going after my mission, going after my financial freedom, okay? I'm pretty good with the health and fitness because you don't want to overdo that. When you do these, when you grade yourselves, I want you to be honest with yourself. I'm not asking you to share this with me or share it with anybody. It is you, a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to be completely honest with yourself. And I know that's tough. I know it's hard to be honest with yourself sometimes. It really is, because it forces you to face your weaknesses and your shortcomings. Career and business. 7. I've made some big strides in this lately. I'm putting a lot more effort into my job and trying to build it because it is my source of income, and I think that I started to take it for granted for a while. I'm in a family business, and you know, I'm pretty sure my job's secure forever if I want it, and I think that I wrongfully took that for granted. So I'm trying to really push myself there. And since I just started, I'm gonna give myself a 7. If I was acting the way I've been acting the last few months, for the last few years, I'd probably give myself a 9 or 10. But time will get me there. Financial freedom. 5. I don't have it. I have some things in place that are giving me passive income, but I'm still a long way off from that. So, and my mission, I'm gonna give myself an 8 here. An 8 with a big jump that's needed to get to 10. Why? Because I feel like I go to bed every day feeling like I had a positive impact on the world, but it's at a very small scale. I think once I attain this financial freedom, I can really ramp that up. That's when I'll go to a 9. That's when I'll go to a 10. Okay, that's the difference between me selling calendars at Christmas and donating $1,500 to me having whatever, a $5 million business and donating $1 million. So my heart is in the right place. If you're going after your mission, really you just want to ramp it up once you take care of your health and fitness and your financial freedom, okay? So like I said, I want you to really take this exercise to heart and do it and be honest with yourself. Let me just check the comments real quick. Hey Greg, Sandy, I'm missing a lot of comments, and I see Jesse and Matt and Tyler have all been all over this, so I'm sure I will be entertained when I read these after I sign off. Real quick before I do sign off, I wanted to get back to, let me find my notes. I want to get back to, at the beginning I said, a lot of this stuff I'm talking about I am repeating, and I said repetition is the mother of all skill. All right. I found a quote by this guy named Zig Ziglar. He was a salesman, self-made, multi-millionaire, turned into a motivational speaker. He said, repetition is the mother of all learning and the father of action and the architect of accomplishment. Now I'm saying that slow because I want you to really think about that, okay? Repetition is the mother of learning. So you may come here, listen to me, and I really appreciate you guys signing on, listening to me, or watching later. And I might be kind of just rehashing the same thing, but it's repetition, and you're going to learn it. But learning is not enough because, like I said, I don't believe knowledge is power, action is power. All right? So not only do I need you to learn, you need to put this into action. Repetition is the father of action. So now you've learned, now you've acted upon it, and I don't know who was here for my morning routine. I did, and I challenge you guys to do it for 30 straight days. I'm sorry, I'm reading these comments. Did you do the morning routine? Maybe you did it for 3 days. Maybe you did it for a week. Maybe you did it for a month. Well, we're not at a month yet, but like I've done it for months at a time, but then I've fallen off the wagon. So then I'm forcing myself to repeat these lessons until these what I've learned has been put into action and it's become a habit, okay? So we want to do more than just learn. You can do nothing with learning. You need to put it into action. And then he says, and the architect of accomplishment. Once you've learned a skill and you put it into action, you've now accomplished something towards your mission in life. Accomplished something that's going to make you a better, more authentic person of who you want to be. So I just wanted to touch on that again, and that's why I do these. You know, I do these, and I've said this before, I do these for me just as much as I do it for anybody watching. This is to reinforce all these lessons for me. You know, it's nerve-wracking for me getting on here, not seeing the comments on my laptop over here, wondering what people are saying about me, wondering what people are thinking about me when they're watching this and rolling their eyes and saying, oh, who does he think he is? You know, this is for me as much as it's for anybody who wants to be motivated by it. So that's the repetition part. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this every Wednesday, and I'll try and I will change it up, you know, but these core things I've talked about here, they're going to keep coming up. And every week I'm probably going to mention something about this. Why? Until we all get it. You guys and me, and we're all working towards our mission, which is towards our wealth trinity, okay? So, does anybody have any questions? I've gone 31 minutes, a little shorter than normal. Let me check these comments. Matt, I miss you so much. I wish you were back over here. Come back from California soon, please. You know, I don't hang out with anybody over here, and you were always willing to go out with me, and now I just walk around the woods by myself kicking rocks. So please come back. Yeah, Greg, even motivational speakers need practice. You know, that's another, I'm gonna be transparent with you here. It's another reason why I do this. You know, this is all, you know, ideas and theories and practices that we want to put in to our lives, but I do this for me as practice because I want to be a better speaker. I want to stand in front of this camera and not be sweating. I want to not be stumbling over my words or stuttering or screwing up shit. You know, I want to be better at the mechanics of this. I've done herp talks for Lancaster Herpetological Society, which, let me see, Jesse hooked me up with. And I would get up there and I would be so nervous. I mean, I would wear black shirts because my armpits were just drenched, right? And I would be so nervous. And I want to be able to stand up in front of people and just be fluent and be relaxed and be myself, really. So, mechanically speaking, this is my practice for that too. Thanks, Carla. I don't really know how to go back through these comments yet. It's another thing. I got to practice and get better at that. So, before I sign off, does anybody have any questions, anything they want to talk about? Listen, guys, I have a self-development group on Facebook that could use some participation. A lot of people listening here tonight, they're in the group. I don't know if it's helpful or not. It helps me because it forces me, like I said, to be accountable and really every morning I make a motivational meme. I make it myself, and then I put like a 1 or 2 paragraph mini blog on Facebook, and it forces me to like reestablish the ideas in my mind. So I don't know if that'd be helpful for you. I do put it on my main page, but I have a group where it's all kind of funneled into, so that if that's what you're looking for, you can find it easy. All right. I think this one's going to be shorter. It's only 34 minutes now. So I'm going to sign off, guys. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet next week. I wait to be inspired throughout the week, or I wait for somebody to ask me a question that kind of gives me an idea. And I guess that's it. So listen, I'm going to check all your comments when I get off, and I'll reply to anybody. I see there's some sort of contest going, which is great because now I'm going to be aware of this if you guys sign on next week. And I thank you guys for giving me your time and listening, and hopefully you get some value out of this. I know I definitely do. Even if I'm talking to nobody, it's just, like I said, it's reinforcing these ideas for me, and it's going to help me be the person I want to be and be a more authentic version of myself. So go after that wealth trinity, guys, and I'll talk to you on social media, and I will see you next week. Good night.